Welcome to Mishna study Masachet Orlah, Perek Bet Mishnah Vav. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to speak about really framing everything we spoke about till now, when it spoke about the fermentation, right? The mehametz, the metabel, the spices, and the sourdough that's falling in. We said it falls into a batch. It's going to make the whole thing asur. When is this? This is specific to min bemino, right? Two similar species, right? That's why the example I even gave in last Mishnah, we said it was, sourdough wheat that fell into dough, right? Into regular wheat dough. So it's the two of the same species, right? It's not talking about it falling into, barley sourdough falling into regular dough, right? That's not the case, right? That's going to be the discussion of Mishnah and some of the following Mishnah. So ulma amru, right? Kolam hametz v'amtabel midamea, right? Right. For what were we speaking about when we said anything that makes something hametz, right? It's metabel. It gives it, it's a spice that gives off, it spices up the item. It makes it meduma, right? It makes teruma meduma that we spoke about. We have that law of one, right? 1 in 100. It's going to make the whole thing safek teruma. It's going to make it meduma. Le'ahmir min bemino, right? This is a humra, right? When it comes to min bemino, right? So even if it's less than 1 in 100, right? Because it's a spice, or because it's mehametz, it makes it rise. So then we're going to say there's a stringency over here, and that is even if it's less than 1 in 100, it's going to make it asur. When so? Specific to same species, min bemino. Now the hakel ulahmir. This will be the discussion next Mishnah. We'll see there's a kula, right, leniency and a stringency when it comes min beshe'eno mino. Right, when something's falling into, a different thing. Let's say, a fool, beans fall into adashim, fall into lentils, right? Those are two different species, right? So there we'll see there's a kula and a chumra involved. So our Mishnah, back to what we're talking about, lachmir min bebino ketzad, how so? Seor shalahitim, if you have sourdough from chita, from wheat. It fell into a batch of dough that was made of wheat as well. Right? There's enough to make it hametz. It doesn't matter whether there's 1 in 100, right? Or it's even less than 1 in 100. Even less than that. Even so, it's going to make it asur. Let's say there's not 1 in 100, right? Okay, that again, right, now it's not going to make a difference whether it's make it hametz. It's not going to make it hametz. Now it's less than the 1 in 100, so it's going to make it asur anyway, right? Because it's min bemino. Right. And Bob brings the third example, and that would have been if there's en bo kidei hametz. Let's say there's not enough in order to make it hametz. Right, it's not going to make it hametz. But let's say there's enough to make it. It's more than 1 in 100. So that's the case where you would be allowed to take a piece out, right? It didn't make it hametz, and it's more than 1 in 100. So that's the case where it's oleh be'achadumea. That's the one case that it's oleh be'achadumea. And again, it was talking about min bemino, right? It's one item that fell into the same species. We'll see next Mishnah. What if it fell into something else? Let's say, it didn't. It's not wheat that fell into wheat. If wheat that fell into barley, right? Or something that's not the same species. That's going to be the discussion of next Mishnah.